even serial killers live next door to somebody.
Welcome back to Let's Talk. I'm John and this is Matt. We wanted to talk about a very little indie movie that might not have a big following, but we're talking about Summer of '84. But before we dive into that, if you're a fan of movie reviews, 4K Blu-ray reviews, TV reviews, maybe some video game reviews, please make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn notifications on. It's a trio of guys and it was directed by RKSS. These guys made this movie. It was a Sundance Film Festival movie from 2018. And man, Matt called me up and said, John, you have to see this movie. I loved it. And I bought it immediately. I bought this Blu-ray copy that we're reviewing here today. And I loved it. I thought this movie was great.
Oh yeah. So I can't take all the credit. I actually discovered this from Jeff over at Films at Home. He did a little video. If you love Stranger Things, here's a few movies to check out. And this was on the list. This was like one of the only movies on his list that I didn't own. And I never even heard of it. So I picked it up. It was like $12 at Best Buy, and I watched it, and I was like, "Oh my god, this movie's amazing!" I told John, and he checked it out, and we loved it. That's why we're doing a video on it.
Yeah, we had to come out here and tell you how good that this movie really is. It's a very fun throwback movie. It feels like an '80s movie. Matt described this movie to me perfectly. He's like, it's Stranger Things meets Disturbia. And that's exactly what it is. You know, it's just basically they think that their neighbor is, because we don't want to spoil this movie for you. We'll do a quick spoilers. I do want to talk about the ending, but right now it's about these kids suspect that their neighbor is the one that's doing serial killing in their town because these kids keep going missing. They can't find them, hence why there's a picture of somebody on a milk carton, and they think that their neighbor, who's a cop, is the killer. And these four kids are going around, they're following them around. At one point they're driving their mother's car, and
they're all on summer vacation, so
yeah,
they got nothing else to do, and this is how they're spending their summer. It's 1984, there's no video games, there's no cell phones, there's none of that. So
it's June 12th, 1984 this movie starts, and they make a reference that about
all imagination.
Yeah, and they talk about gremlins in this movie, and I had to do a fact check because Gremlins came out June 8th, 1984. So they got it right. It came out the weekend before Gremlins.
That's funny.
Yeah, I had to definitely make sure of that.
But yeah, like you said, I love the movie Disturbia, and I love Stranger Things, and this mashes it right up. It feels so much like it. The 80s score, you know, it kind of follows the perspective of the kids. I mean, you can even say it's sort of like the Goonies, you know, in a respect. It was just a great time. It was a good mystery right from the beginning, waving it in your face, and you think it's one person, and at the end it's like, holy shit! Like, I couldn't believe it. The ending was pretty crazy. So.
Yeah, because they're trying to like misguide you this movie. Now, let's just go into spoilers from this point on. It's definitely a recommendation, but I want to give the rest of our thoughts in spoilers because the thing that shocked me the most is the ending.
The ending, yeah.
Because the bad guy wins, and which is crazy because they kill the one kid, Woody. They like the bad guy who ends up being the guy they were investigating the whole time. This cop Mackie does turn out to be the killer.
And I didn't think it would be because literally right off the bat that they're making it so obvious that it's him. I was like, there's no way. Like, he's going to come in and save the day at the last minute, and there's no way it's this guy. And it turned out to be that guy.
And that ending when he actually catches up to them and like he cuts the one kid's throat and he bleeds out, and then he's like head to head with the other kid telling him, he literally pins him down and says, I'm not going to kill you. I want you to worry about for the rest of your life about the one day when I finally come and get you because you stole my life from me. And he's like, one day you'll be right. And I was like, oh my god. And then he just drives away and that's it. Now, my one issue with this movie is the fact that they should have just ended it right there. I didn't need the narration at the very end. That kind of did bother me. I would have liked them just to cut him driving away and that'd be the end. But that's personal choice. It's not going to really flow the movie for me.
Yeah, no, again, fantastic movie. This is a must-see.
Great synthesizer score on here, by the way, which me and Matt are total suckers for.
Oh, yeah.
And the Blu-ray, even though it looks pretty cheap, actually.
Yeah, so we picked these up from Best Buy. They came, they were sealed differently, right? Like, they had a different seal. Like, so it looks like a very, very, very good homemade Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Because it's not in a typical Blu-ray box. Well, it's a regular Blu-ray box, but it doesn't say Blu-ray on it. And, like, if you look at the the really, really close on the box art. It does look like it came out of a printer, but I mean, it looks fine. I have an app where I scan everything. The barcode came back and scanned right into my system, so I was able to
add it to my collection.
Add it to my collection. And then the disc itself, which is crazy to me, you could tell that this is nothing like a studio release. It's got like a very shiny, glossy, and the bottom of the disc is very dark. So I believe these are like what the blank Blu-rays look like.
Yeah, well, this movie was definitely made on the cheap. This is a total indie film. Like, I couldn't
very low budget.
Yeah, I couldn't even find the budget and what it made, if it made any money at all. So, like, it's a very small movie. You could tell, but
the funny part is, to me, there's nothing about this seems low. Like, if I went to a friend's house or saw this on Netflix or something and I didn't see the physical copy, I wouldn't think this is low budget at all. And I think the Blu-ray looked great itself. It had a menu system, so, I mean, everything was there.
The sound was great. At one point when the woofer was kicking in, and my house was shaking, like, in the third act. No, like... It's
got a 5.1.
Yeah. No, the sound is mixed very well. It's shot very well. Like Matt says, it's made for cheap for sure, but you couldn't tell. I mean, there was a lot of love put into this movie, and it's a 2018 release, and really, if you haven't seen this film yet, I mean, you can rent it off of Amazon Prime. I think it says something about a premium subscription, but the Blu-ray is cheap.
And I think there's a 4K out there, but don't hold me to that.
Yeah, but anyway, if you can grab that, it's not that much money. Like Matt said, I think I grabbed it for $12 too, and yeah, it fits right into my horror collection. I loved it. It's a total recommendation from me. It's a total recommendation from Matt. Yes. Definitely grab this and grab the Blu-ray because it is surprisingly very good.
Yeah, this is really up there again because Stranger Things is one of my favorite pieces of content ever to watch. I absolutely adore Stranger Things, and this reminds me of it a lot. Down to the group of kids, the
playing
score.
Manhunt.
Yeah, come on.
This is a perfect summer horror movie too.
Yeah, this is great.
Yeah, no, definitely. So if you like movies like this, definitely grab that. And guys, as always, thanks for being here with us. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and you tell all your friends.